Hi, I'm Amber, and this is day 16 in 21 days to create a daily practice in your life. So, today's practice is about coming to know yourself, coming into right relationship with yourself. There's a really great writer called Joshua Stone, and he talks about the three most important relationships in our lives. And that is, in this order, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with spirit, and your relationship with another, with your beloved, with your love. And he very much puts the relationships in that order. And truly this is because if we're not in right relationship with ourselves, if we have not come to truly know all aspects of ourselves, then we cannot have an authentic, love-filled, truthful relationship with spirit or with another. We shall forever be projecting. If we have not come to understand our own wounds, our own places of shadow, those parts of us that we love and those parts of us that we may not approve of so much, we will constantly be finding that same sense of disapproval when we view others, because we have not come to accept all parts of ourselves. As I have shared in another clip, the world is our mirror, everyone is our greatest teacher, and everyone is reflecting back at us something in us that we have perhaps yet to discover, or a quality that we already have and we are being reminded of. So if we don't come to understand all parts of ourselves, we will forever be attacking others, trying to shift them or change them in some way. We will forever be trying to change our environment and control it, because we in ourselves do not feel in control of ourselves. We do not feel that we have mastery of who we are. We have not come to know who we are. And that is what mastery means, to come to know who you are. When you become a Reiki master, it's not that you're suddenly a master of life, or that you have any great power bestowed on you. It's that you come to know yourself. It's that you have a mastery of your life, because that surely and is only the best that we can do while we're here, is to come into right relationship with ourselves. So often we're busy trying to fix the world or fix others. The work, the journey is about coming to know ourselves, and as we do that, we deepen our connection with the divine part of us. And as we do that, we come to see the divine in everything and in everyone, because we view the world through our eyes. And our eyes are forever viewing the world through our own experiences and our own stories. So the more we come to know that, the more we come to understand that, the more we can view the world authentically and truthfully. And that is a beautiful gift that we bestow upon ourselves and we bestow upon others, being part of a world community. So today's practice is about coming to know yourself, coming to understand what is happening in your inner world, what emotions are flowing through you, what thoughts are passing through you, and not to be attached to any of them, because we are not a thought that flows through us. We are not an emotion that flows through us. We are many things, and through the course of a day we shall experience many emotions and many thought forms. When we get attached to one or the other, or we judge one or the other, that is when we start to come into a place of pain and disconnection, feeling we cannot be angry, or we cannot be sad, say. We can be all those things because we are all those things. We house all those things in us. Again, if we look at nature, we can see that nature can be loving and gentle and can be very strong and violent at times. It houses all that in a state of balance and completion. It is part of the cycle of life. We house all that also in us, which is why our connection to the land is so vital to coming into better relationship with ourselves. So I hope yesterday's practice helped with that as well. So for today's practice, you can go back to the land and your tree if you so wish, or you can go to your sacred space. And all you will need is an eye mask or something to cover your eyes with, like a scarf, because you're going to go into darkness, that space of nothingness and that space of everything. Just to close off that overstimulation of our senses through sight, to allow ourselves to drop into ourselves, to drop into that void, to hear our thoughts with clarity. Truly, when we're in darkness, our thoughts are magnified because there is nowhere for us to place a distraction. And this practice allows us also to become aware of the distractions in our lives and where we may place our attention on those distractions. So the simplicity of the practice is that you go into your sacred space, you cover your eyes so you're in a space of darkness, and you simply sit in that space for 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, as long as you feel able to. And I would urge you to extend this practice. So maybe the first time you do it for 15 minutes and then you make it longer, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe an hour even, to really go into that space and to see what feelings come up for you. Restlessness perhaps, just wanting to be distracted, fear perhaps, sadness, anger, joy, love, whatever may come up for you, and to not be attached to any of those feelings, to recognize that's a feeling of anger, that's a feeling of sadness, that's a feeling of restlessness, and to let it flow through you. You may wish to ask where that feeling comes from. You may wish to question yourself. Well, why am I feeling this? Where is it coming from? Is there an event that has triggered it? Is there a thought pattern that's triggering it? Is there something in me that is being triggered? To trace back that feeling, to trace back that thought, to go to the root cause of it. So often we react to life, we react to others, and we feel that others are to blame or life is to blame because it made us feel a certain way. Yet two different people may well respond to the same situation completely differently. Therefore, it is not the situation that is creating a response. It is what is going on in our inner world that creates the response in us. And the more we come to understand our inner world, the more we come to understand that we are able to control any given situation simply by how we respond to it. What do we choose to bring into that situation? What aspect of ourselves do we choose to bring into that situation? So this practice is about coming to understand those triggers in you, coming to understand the landscape of your inner world. And that's the practice at its simplest, to just sit and be with what may arise for you. Now also, because you won't be using the sense of sight, to bring your attention to sound and how that makes you feel. And where does your attention go? Do you go to the sounds that are distracting you, or do you go to the sounds that are more pleasing for you? And if you are going to the sounds that are a distraction, can you perhaps bring your attention to those sounds that feel more healing for you? Birdsong maybe, the wind in the trees, rain on a rooftop, rather than the sounds that are causing you some discomfort. Where can you start to bring your attention? Because where you bring your attention is what you feed, and that is having mastery over your life. That is coming to know yourself. What do you choose to feed as you sit in silence, as you sit in darkness? Do you choose to feed the restlessness, or do you choose to feed another emotion perhaps? Do you choose to feed the feeling of stability of having the earth beneath you as you sit on the ground? Do you choose to feed the beauty of hearing a bird singing outside your window? Perhaps you can hear your breath or the clock ticking. It's to start to heighten the other senses. And to become aware of those distractions as well. If it is difficult for us to sit with ourselves, that shows us that we may not be in right relationship with ourselves. If you think about the beauty of being with someone that you love, often the most beautiful thing about being with someone that we love is the ability to sit with them in silence, not feeling that we need to do anything, say anything, or be anyone. We can just be in silence in this space of love and acceptance with another. So if we cannot do that with ourselves, then we shall forever be reaching for a distraction, or we shall forever be trying to have that with someone else, and then be disappointed perhaps when it may not happen. Truly the greatest relationship, the greatest love relationship is with ourselves. And the awareness of distraction is about what distractions do we bring into our lives to not want to be with ourselves. The music we listen to, the activities we may busy ourselves with, even our spiritual path can become a distraction for us from truly being with ourselves, because none of the tools that I've shared with you, and no workshop, event, teacher is ever truly going to take the place of the work that we do ourselves, it is as simple as sitting in silence with yourself to come to know the divine in you. It is as simple as going and sitting with the land to come to know the divine in you and all around you. Any other tools like crystals or teachers or books or anything is merely a gateway to coming to that place of self-knowing. But none of that can take the place of the actual practice of self-knowing, which is what today is about. True empowerment comes from knowing who we are. And when we come to know who we are and come to accept who we are and love who we are, then we are no longer viewing the world through the eyes of judgment. We view the world through the eyes of love. We view the world through the eyes of the divine, because we have finally come to acknowledge that the divine sits in us as well as being around us. And that is how we bring change and love into the world. We cannot necessarily shift, change, alter, fix every given situation and every person that we ever encounter in life. We can come to truly know ourselves, and so be the embodiment of the divine in every single part of our daily lives. So today's practice is about learning to embrace that stillness, to embrace the thoughts that may arise in you, the sensations, the feelings, coming to understand where they may come from, and coming to love them and accept them. Coming to know that just because we experience a thought or an emotion, it does not define us, because that too shall be replaced by another and another and another. I wish you so much joy and love and knowledge and empowerment and beauty with this practice of truly just spending time with yourself, no distractions, just you, your breath, your inner world, the ground beneath you, and the elements all around you. And so until the next time, so it is. It is so.